Hello, welcome back to another video. So, I had something a little bit different for this one, not necessarily in the drawing, but I was having some trouble getting started on a lot of things, which I have mentioned so many times, and I'm sure everyone's tired of hearing it. Um, but I started thinking about, okay, first of all, my sister and I got a big order. We usually do get kind of big order, but this was a whole big order. 50 cups double-sided that we were going to be sandblasting, so we had to do all the stencils, and it wasn't a stencil that we could design, it was someone's logo, and that is a whole nightmare and a half because if I can design it for the stencil, we can get it pretty clean and go easier to weed, that kind of thing, and the weeding is just you're taking out the parts of the stencil that you don't need. So we have to do 50 of those, but for the first week we only needed to prepare 8, but again with the stencil it was a lot and it was a lot of wasted material, which was very frustrating. And we also had to do bottle opener keychains, also double-sided, and luckily those are a little bit better because we can do them on our laser and we're pretty familiar with that at this point. So anyway, I don't usually do much of the weeding because we don't usually have that much to do, and my hands are not always the best, so I usually leave it up to my sister. But there was so much, I said, let me give it a shot, let's do this together. This is just way too much. So, so we were doing that. And right after I finished doing it, I started thinking, oh, well, I could get my iPad this evening and I could do this and that. And the point of all of that was, as I was sketching, I started to think that this is one of those, like, the body in motion tends to stay in motion things. And I called it, what did I call it? Creative momentum. So I started to think that maybe, and this is probably such like basic information, but I started to think that maybe when I'm not allowing myself to do the things that I want to do, when it, creative things that I really want to do, and I'm telling myself that I can't because if I'm going to work on something, it has to be something that I need to be doing. So if I stopped doing that and I allowed myself to start out with sketching, or I want to draw in my sketchbook, or I want to work on this editing for whatever, that would actually help me gain the momentum that I needed so that I could move to the tasks that I need to do. And maybe maybe that other stuff is just to get myself ready, and that's kind of where my brain is going. Maybe I'm just being lazy, I don't know. But it did really help, and thinking of it as this, creative momentum really seemed to help me put my thoughts in order and think, okay, if I have something to do, I'll do something I want to do first. And I tend to kind of do that for a little while. And then I suddenly, I want to work on the things that are nagging me. And I don't know, it just really, really helps. So anyway, for anyone who's maybe struggling, look at what you're not allowing yourself to do creatively that maybe is holding you back, and I don't know. I was never someone who had to struggle like this ever. I love drawing, and I used to just leave papers and pencils and pens sitting on just about every single surface, and I drew all day long whenever I could draw. But whenever I went through a lot of the work and stuff where I didn't have a lot of time, and if I was making stuff, it was business stuff, and it was just a lot. I do physical labor jobs, just, for anyone who's new here, and there are times I come back and my hands are really sore or my arms are really sore, and drawing is not a good idea because, it would definitely mess up the rest of my my week or two, and I wouldn't be able to draw at all. So I think a lot of that kind of stopped me from drawing as much as I used to. And obviously, I think some depression and whatnot kind of works its way in there. I've always kind of struggled with that since I was pretty young. And with everything that happened the last few years and definitely the beginning of this year, um, I could see myself struggling a little bit, but it just felt like things were so out of hand. I just can't make myself get started on things. Even when I was finishing something, I was not feeling like I could move on to the next thing. Um, I don't know. I didn't feel like I was prepared, but I wasn't letting myself just draw. And I was getting really discouraged by what I was drawing because I wasn't drawing enough to feel in practice. And that's just a bad feeling for me. I really don't like to feel like I'm sitting down to draw and all I'm doing is struggling. It starts to make me panic or feel like I'm losing skill, even if I know in my head that that is 100% not it. Maybe you lose the memory of something like a shortcut, but it comes right back to you as you draw the same things, and I do be drawing the same things. So it really shouldn't be an issue and it shouldn't be something that I worry about so much. So, yeah, creative momentum. If anyone's struggling, maybe just try doing something that you just want to do. And don't worry about whether it's turning out or not. I know that that's hard, but when you're just thinking, oh, I'm just building momentum, like I'm not even worried about it. Of course, it's going to be better in a bit. I think if you just keep up with that within a few days, because it usually takes me about 3 days of um, sketching, passively, to start building up those skills where I can kind of hold things together. I'm sorry, I heard something outside and I just wanted to make sure everything was good because our dog is out there and he's just little. Um, so so yeah, if that's something that you are having issues with, maybe try that. And it's okay if some drawings are just absolute crap. That is just the cobwebs, and you're gonna dust them off. It's gonna be fine. It's like, the part of your desk that you're always sitting things on is pretty much always like in a weird state of either being clean or whatever, at least from dust. I'm talking about dust here. Um, but obviously the stuff that you just leave to sit and you don't touch is gonna be dusty. But the more that you mess with it, it's gonna clear it off and you'll be fine. Anyway, that was ridiculous and long-winded, but you know, that was kind of helping me. So if you try that, let me know how it goes for you. Hopefully better. Hopefully better. I was working on editing those traditional comic pages that I had done last year. I am nearly finished. And once I finish getting them posted on Patreon, I will start posting them publicly, just as a heads up, because I said that on the last one, but yeah, I think I only have a few pages left to edit, and hopefully I can get to that, because that'd be really nice, and then that will be off of my mind, and that's not a pressing thing that it is, but it is something that I've wanted to do that's been bothering me, and once that's finished, I'll feel a little bit better. I still want to get to the comic, but I do need to do stickers, and I'm gonna try to continue on with the creative momentum that I have built. But we still have 48. I keep saying 48. We still have 42 cups to finish, and possibly some more keychains and some other business stuff that needs to be going on. So I am going to be pretty busy. So I just need to be a little bit careful about where I'm spending my time. My brother's going to go have his foot surgery day after tomorrow. And I have to get up at 4:30 in the morning again tomorrow. I did today too. I'm just trying to organize my thoughts, but it's a whole mess. Um, anyway, yeah, these are my weird goat people. I'm actually surprised more of them don't have horns. I love horns. But, that's just what I felt like scribbling, I guess, and none of them are award winners, but I had fun anyway. So, yeah, me trying to struggle with my cleaver. So this is the finished picture. I hope that you guys liked it. Let me know what you thought. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a good day or night, and bye.